Hello, my name is Balthazar, and you guessed it, I'm a cat. Not just any old cat. I'm proud to say I'm a rescue cat. I used to live on the streets of Parnell in Auckland until one day I met my very own cat angel, Anne. I was the first cat she rescued, but definitely not the last.
Welcome to Calling All Cat Angels. I'm Anne Batley-Burton, founder and chair of the New Zealand Cat Foundation. And here we are at the Pussy Palace, which is home to stray and abandoned pussies. In fact, I wanted to call this show Life at the Pussy Palace, but I was a little bit concerned in case I attracted the wrong sort of audience. I've been looking after a cat colony in Parnell, affectionately called the Parnell Pussies. And over the years I noticed that a lot of these cats, which were cared for on a daily basis, all desexed, of course, by volunteers. I noticed a lot of them are getting old, and I worried about them being left on the street. So I decided to start the Pussy Palace. Originally, it was thought to be no more than 25 cats. Well, as news spread, one pussy followed another. And now, at the New Zealand Cat Foundation, we are caring for over 350 cats on a daily basis.
350 of my friends sure take a lot of looking after, and a ton of money as well. So if you want to be a cat angel, give me a call. Well, maybe not me. I'm a cat, but give Anne a call. Anyway, it's a lot of fun living in the Pussy Palace, and I have heaps of friends, like my mate, Fat Tony, or the wise one, Obama. I even have a girlfriend. Actually, truth be known, I have had quite a few, even though I'm getting on a little bit.
As you can see, the Pussy Palace has been a bit of a work in progress. I mean, look at it. It started off over here where we had the original Pussy Palace. Then we had to extend further on down there when we got 26 cats, which came from Southdown Freezing Works. Then we had another old lady who passed away, leaving me 32 cats. And we had to build on to take them. And cats come from all sorts of areas of life. We have people who are going into rest homes, we have people who have passed away, we have people who've just gone off and left their poor cats homeless, and we take them and bring them into the sanctuary and try and rehome them. This area here is called the Cottage Extension. That was about the fourth area that we built on. As you can see, we've got lots of pavers down here, which are just great. And we're looking to replace all of this. So we need more pavers, and we've been very, very lucky in finding a sponsor, which is North Shore Demolition. And Mike Vickers, he's been marvellous. He's donated all these pavers here, and he's getting more for us. So all these pathways will be far more suitable, a lot more solid. Before we had to make do with areas that we'd built these pathways, and then cats would get under them, which was infuriating, because the next thing you find that there's a cat that might be a bit unwell and it's hidden under there, as they do, and you don't even know they're there. So this is going to be a godsend once this is all finished. So next winter is going to be perfect. But we need more people like Mike, who are just giving us things to help, whether it's in the form of monetary donations or whether it's in the form of giving us materials that we can use, wood, sand, pavers, roofing, whatever. It's just marvellous to have people like that. So if you can help, we'd love to hear from you.
You're probably wondering about me and where I came from, what my story is. Well, all in good time. Firstly, let me tell you about Frankie, a recent Pussy Palace guest. Frankie ended up in Auckland many, many miles from his home. But Anne and the angels found him, traced his loving owner and returned him.
Holly, hey, really good to meet you. Welcome to the Pussy Palace.
Fantastic.
Frankie's been hanging around an industrial area in Rosebank Road in Avondale, and we did know that there were a few stray cats around the area, so we've sort of been keeping an eye out, and we've been putting some biscuits out. And we noticed that poor old Frankie was in a yard next door where there was fork hoists and trucks and big jumbo bins, and we saw her jump in one day and we're like, oh my goodness, this is not a good environment for a cat.
That looks so cosy. I wouldn't mind getting in that myself.
Yes, after a few weeks we noticed that she was around nearly every day and she was eating the biscuits every night, and then just one afternoon she came to the back door of our building and was meow, 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 and she was wanting to be friendly.
We don't want any escapees.
And I brought her here. We scanned her for a microchip and we found that it had a number. So Anne, who runs the foundation here, she checked on the register and she found the owner and contacted her. And yes, apparently she'd been lost for 1 year and the owner lived in Thames. So it was quite an interesting story. We don't quite know how she got to Rosebank Road, Avondale in Auckland.
Here she is. This is Ingrid, this is Holly, and here's Frankie.
The owner did the exact right thing, having her microchipped and registered so that we could trace her. And it's so wonderful for little Frankie and her owner Holly. They're just lucky to have her back, since they thought that she'd actually maybe been run over and had been killed. So now they get her back again. So very, very happy.
Well, you know you're going to be a TV star now. Isn't that right? How about that, Frankie?
It's so wonderful that Frankie can be back with her family where she belongs. She's obviously had a wonderful adventure. She's quite a resourceful little pussycat by the looks of it. And it's so happy to have a happy ending.
Bye, Frankie. That was lovely. I'm a real advocate for microchipping your cats, or any animal, of course. However, that's not the only thing you must do, because the one thing about the microchipping is that occasionally they do fail. They can migrate, and you can find it down a cat's arm or somewhere down its back. And if you have a cursory examination of the microchip, or of the cat to find the microchip, and you miss it, next minute, oh, no microchip, it's a stray, pop it on the head, shoot it, whatever is going on these days, sadly. This is a very dangerous situation to make microchipping compulsory. So, as I say, I advocate 100% that you must get your cats microchipped, but don't rely on it 100%. If you go to the vet regularly, or even if you don't, make a trip to get it checked regularly. Even when the battery has been fully charged, sometimes we just can't find a microchip. Now today we had an example, a cat that we've just rescued off the streets in Panmure. We had it microchip, we've got its microchip number. The vet came today, she did her normal scan, no microchip. She tried again, no microchip. Tried a third time, no microchip. It's been done 3 days ago, so she had to insert another one. And the worrying thing is, a lot of councils, like Wellington City Council and so on, they're wanting to bring in compulsory microchipping. And that means, in fact, I think they may already have done it. I don't know how they're going to monitor it. But the point is that means that if your cat gets caught in a trap, because there's so much now of all this eco-sensitive areas, and if your cat's found in one of these areas and it's not microchipped, it's treated as a stray and it's killed. And some of these rangers are just putting a bullet to the head of these cats. I would never want it to be compulsory, because you know who's going to suffer from it? Not the owner. Well, the owner will suffer because their cat's going to be dead, but more importantly, the cat will be dead, and it's the one that's paid the price with its life purely because a microchip hasn't worked.
Everybody hates going to the vet, right? Not us guys. We have our very own special vets, the guys from Linfield Vets. I can't tell you how great they are, particularly that Joe Lynn. One of our young fellas here is Rusty. The chicks dig him, but he arrived blind. That didn't stop Joe Lynn.
So this is Rusty, and he was brought in as a young kitten with his siblings and his mum. I think it was only 6 weeks when I first saw him, and he didn't have any eyes that we could see. So we don't know if he either had herpes virus at a very young age and his eyes had ruptured, or if he was just born that way. So we just decided to administer some antibiotic eye ointment and wait and see. Some kittens, they lose their eyes and they need to be removed at some stage because they keep on causing constant pain. But for him, he didn't look too irritated, so we were a bit stumped. But we just gave him some antibiotic eye ointment and it cleared up, and eventually we started noticing that he did have eyes in his eye sockets, and I don't know how well he can see through them, but yeah, he gets around, and probably because he hasn't had his vision from a young age, he's just honed all his other skills. But as you can see, he can get around and jump up onto things, and he does pretty well for himself. So he was probably the most adventurous out of all of the 4 kittens that came to the sanctuary, and he's done really well and fell in love with them. So he's a permanent fixture at the sanctuary now.
Amongst us cats, the name Sir Bob Carriage is a legend. Actually, he's not Sir yet, but he should be. Bob has led the charge for animal rights for us cats, in fact all animals, for many years. He's supposed to have retired, but that hasn't slowed him down at all, and he sure knows a thing or two.
I'm down in Hawke's Bay with wonderful Bob Carriage, ex-CEO of the SPCA. We're here to talk about pussies. I have never seen such a beautiful cattery, Bob.
It's the one we chose when we came down here for our cats, of course. And it was obviously the place to come, and while we had them,
Yes.
it was a lovely place.
Yes.
And they're so caring. So Lilla and Jeremy run this and look after it, and they've done everything themselves. He's a builder, so he's built all these lovely things, and Lilla, of course, is a cat person.
I can see that. Well, you'd have to be, wouldn't you?
Well, you would.
In case you haven't noticed, we're surrounded by quite a few pussycats here, all absolutely gorgeous, some more fluffy and beautiful than others, but each of them have got their own character, as our cats do. Some are very elderly. So Bob, what are we going to talk about today?
Well, today we're going to talk about calling all cat angels, and just really what is the beauty of cat, what is the attraction of cats to us, and what sort of help can we give them, those sorts of things. So I thought we'd sort of start just talking about the mysterious power of cats, because all the time I've worked with cats, I've always felt this amazing energy that they have, which actually is quite mysterious. Have you noticed that?
I certainly
They
have.
are very mysterious. You don't know for 1 minute to the next really what they're thinking or what they're going to do. But there's
Particularly
method,
that.
yes, but there's method in their madness. So they have everything planned out for you and for me
Yes.
and for everyone that lives with them. And that's, I think, what makes them so interesting. Cats are really one of the most outgoing but inverted animals that we can get. Total difference in character.
They are. Well, they certainly sucked me in. I mean, I've got a few hundred of them under my belt, haven't I?
Well, I think you attract them, of course. Yeah.
This is
It would
what
like to
Bob
be.
said. He said, you know what's going to happen? The moment we sit down, we're going to end up with this whole congregation of cats who are listening to the words of wisdom that we're saying about them.
And of course, they know we're talking about them. That's the other thing.
They
They're
do.
very aware that we're talking about them and saying how beautiful and gorgeous they are.
So tell
But the
us
other
more.
thing about cats, of course, is that they're also very needy because they need company. They need the presence of people to talk to them, and as all animals do, companion animals do like to converse and be involved, and I think that's the thing. So living with cats is a great experience in itself, and the little habits that come out, of course, amuse us, but the other little things actually quite inspire us from time to time. What cats do, the way they think,
Yes.
and the way they move,
Yes, they do.
and they've just moved
What
in.
did I tell you?
Exactly.
Oh, thank you, Bob. That's
All right.
absolutely fabulous. And
Good.
I'll see you next week.
Indeed.
And we'll be chatting to him some more in the weeks to come. There is not a cat on this planet, including me, that likes treatments. But I also hate fleas and scratching. Bowringer is a group of people that love us, and because they do, they make stuff to help us. Their Broadline spot-on solution for cats is a winner. It's a total flea, tick, roundworm and tapeworm control for us cats. Enough about me. There are some great guys and gals here at the Pussy Palace, so let's meet some of them. This is Fat Tony, or Fat Tony, you know what I mean. He's been here for a while, acts like a badass, but really he is a good guy. He looks after his mates, especially the ones that maybe can't look after themselves. Yeah, he's a hard ass. Yeah, right. Actually, he's really just a pussy.
We have a number of wonderful cats up for adoption. Firstly, we've got Caesar. Caesar is an extraordinary cat. He's an enormous 5-year-old Arabian male mix. Born in the Middle East, he was adopted and flew to New Zealand in 2017. Caesar is very sociable and loves people, but on his terms. He loves to be close to you. He's a very chatty cat. He chirps like a Siamese. You could have a whole conversation with him. Caesar is a very easy cat to like. He's a character and full of life. He's funny and loving and very special. Barry is an enormous, beautiful, big black cat. He's absolutely stunning. We're not sure of his age, but probably around 3 to 4. He's been living outdoors as he was a stray. Luckily, some kind person has been looking after him for the last 3 years. But now it's time for Barry to have a home of his own. Chiquita is a gorgeous, fluffy, medium-haired black and white girl who's about 8 years old. Chiquita's been living at a rest home for about 5 years. Sadly, her owner passed away, so she's looking for a new home. Chiquita is a lovely-natured cat who will make someone a wonderful companion. She's desexed, microchipped, vaccinated and vet-checked. She's just had a full dental with no teeth removed. Her blood tests were all good too. All cats have been desexed, vaccinated and microchipped. We ask for an adoption fee of $150 to help us continue our work. But be quick, as our cats are flying out the door, so please visit our website to check out more pussies for adoption.
Yum yum, it's every cat's favourite time of the day, feeding time. Biscuits from Mars. We love whiskers in the morning. And fresh meat and delicious canned food from a wonderful, healthy pet food producer in Gisborne. Couldn't get by without these guys. It's all served in the evening by great volunteers.
Time to feed these kits. Looking quite hungry. This is the inside bit. This is where the spoilt cats live, like Fat Tony and Ash. Ash has got a bit of a palsy, that's why he walks a bit funny. Well, they like the mince the best, the red stuff. They like that the best. The middle stuff usually gets left for the other cats, which are too slow to get to the food. You know, and then some of them, they wait for me to go. And then look at them, they're all very hungry, aren't they? My favourite cat, see the fat Russian blue there? We call him Fat Tony, as in the character from The Simpsons, because he's a bit of a gangland boss. He is. He'll go around and boss the other cats. And see Ash, the one next to him, the one with the palsy, doesn't walk straight. Well, Fat Tony's like his minder, because Ash, you know, he can't defend himself too well, so that's why he has Fat Tony, eh? Hey, Fat Tony, hey, you big fatty. Look at you, yes, oh dear. Yeah, looks back at me as if to say, you'll end up with concrete wellies later.
You volunteers, it's hard to say how much we love you guys. You turn up to stroke us, say nice things, you let us sit on your laps, you volunteer your time for us. What more can I say?
Yes, so Chloe and Maddie, they're daughters of Cassandra, who does a lot of trapping and fostering for us. And the girls have been brought up with so many cats in and out of your house, haven't you? Yeah, you're real experts on it. It's great. We need younger ones coming through, don't we?
Definitely.
Oh, look, you've got treats with both of them. You see, they love the treat. Isn't that gorgeous? I don't know how good they are for them, but they love them.
I love coming to the New Zealand Cat Foundation because I love helping out all the cats here, and they're all super friendly. and I have lots of favourites, but if I had to pick, I'd probably choose Balthazar because he's always really friendly.
I hope you've enjoyed watching Calling All Cat Angels. Please take a moment to look at our website, the nzcatfoundation.org.nz. It's got all the information you need to become a cat angel. It tells you how to donate, sponsor, foster, volunteer or adopt. And if you'd like to come and visit us, we'd just love to see you. So until next time on Calling All Cat Angels.
Next week,
Top Cat, you don't really know your name, do you? This Top Cat's been having continual diarrhoea issues, hasn't he? But obviously we can't pass on a cat that's going to be having diarrhoea all over the house. Oh, look in here. Is that Balthazar hopping up there? Or is it Obama?